PM at Christmas. Good Christmas morning. GM, GM, GM. So let's take a look at the market. Just a quick overview. Not a whole lot happening, but some good news over in the world of BRC20 tokens. Ordinals is absolutely flying here, starting to push back up towards the range high. Should be another move to come for Ordi. So I had marked them out here. And here's where we're at currently. So you can see Ordi pushing up again, having a nice move. Optimism, Solana, Ordi, Pepe holding up and moving up quite nicely. And then the weakest, well, multi-bit is still, let me zoom it in a bit and see where we're at since the weekend. Yeah, since Saturday into Sunday into today. Ordinals leading, Pepe lagging, multi-bit lagging. Need to get them moving. I think Ordinals moving though is good for the multi-bit bags. Really high funding on it, on Ordi, right across the board. So probably a pullback coming for them for Ordi soonish, I guess. But I mean, it overcorrects no matter what. Something like Ordinals, the funding rate is less relevant, right? Because it's not like there's a well-developed spot market for Ordinals. It's pretty much a relatively new meme coin. I know probably not technically a meme coin. It represents something real, the inscriptions, ordinals on Bitcoin. But it really is a meme coin, right? And so, having only been around since when? May, with spot markets, Binance OKX, hot coin global. I mean, so apart from Binance and OKX, there's like no volume of spot on this. So what I'm saying is, if you have to remember what funding rate is. Funding rate is just the difference in price between spot and futures, right? It is a premium or discount mechanism. And so when it gets way out of line, obviously it means that futures are leading. So this means that whatever's going on, the price on the futures exchanges is much higher than the price on the spot exchanges. That's why you get super positive funding. However, I don't know, it doesn't really mean as much as, say, if Solana was like this, right? Because there's just less of an incentive to arbitrage it. But that's not what I wanted to look at. I wanted to look at all the data as a whole. So Solana is now no longer the number one volume coin, which is good. It's gone back down a bit, which is better. Better to not always have it leading, obviously. Open interest, funding rate. Global OI, funding rate. Okay. And we'll take a look here. OI weighted. Excluding Bitcoin. I think people, the little dip we had last night, Bitcoin's OI is already making new highs as funding remains kind of elevated. So there's probably another leg down to come, I would say, given that we have plenty of room to drop. And this bounce, we're now, like 12 hours later, and price hasn't recovered it. It's always a red flag. Open interest has made new highs, red flag. And altcoin funding again, or altcoin open interest has pushed up to back to where it has been at and historically stuck at. Funding rates still well elevated. So probably there's another flush to come. If we just take a look through some of these 1 hour charts, and you just want to look at what have coins done in reaction to their moves up. So Bitcoin hasn't got anywhere near recovering its drop. If a shakeout is just a bullish shakeout, you'd expect to see it move down, right? And then price to recover and reclaim it, and then just start trading up there. If that's just the shakeout, that's it. But this wasn't, right? This one's still hanging around. It doesn't mean it can't go higher, and I'm sure it will. I'm sure people will try and short this, and then they'll get blown out. But after that, we might just chop or even go lower. it's Christmas Day, so don't be, usually, right, generally, the risk on Christmas Day is a downside move, just because anytime anytime you've got a bullish market, but then you have a holiday, the most risk is to the downside. Yeah. That's just in general. The most risk is to the downside in a bullish market because there's just not enough interest, right? There's just not enough eyeballs, not enough people who care. And so anyone who's overly leveraged on the long side is going to have to suffer. They're going to have a shitty Christmas. So I don't know if we go lower, if we go much lower. I don't know if we pump. The other thing, regardless of whether it goes up or down, the other thing to take a look at from here is where are we at like right now? So basically this is where we've been. Now, this is where we were on the last trading day. So price should actually be up here. So eventually we will trade back up to there. But from Christmas, the days around Christmas, price tends to move, right? And if we go all the way down here and then down here, price will be significantly deviated from where it started. And this happens so often at Christmas. It doesn't have to be up or down, but whatever direction it goes in, just understand that it's just directionless noise, and we will trade back to at least there, right? That's just how it works. It's like one big extended weekend. The days around Christmas are essentially just unreliable shit. So here we had, this one was just price really going nowhere, but I think it was the year before, 2021. We had a good example. Yeah, here, right? So this was price trading around on the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, right? So here's price. Then it pushes up into Christmas. So 23rd, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Then it drops back down. So it just completes a mean reversion. Starts off down there, comes all the way up, all the way back. 2020, we just pumped on 2020, I think, didn't we? Yeah, 2020 was a bit of an anomaly. We had this consolidation. We pumped out of it on Christmas Day, and we never came back. That was in like hyper bullish market, though. Obviously, we haven't done that this year, or else we'd already be pumping. But in general, the way I approach it is wherever we come back to now, or wherever we go to now, we will come back to it. I think the bottom can be in. I said this last night, right? That drop off into this previous area of support has held, and if price pushes back up, to me it looks like a triangle. So maybe it goes one lower, pushes up, and then I think we're just going to break out, because we've been doing something very similar quite a few times actually. Bitcoin has been doing this. We did one over here as well. Even there, right? Bitcoin's been just pressing and pressing and pressing and pushing up and up and up. So could see the same again. Take a look through the alts. ETH, just a cup coin. ETH BTC. Say is doing well. That's the parallelized EVM narrative you want to keep an eye on. That's one on my radar for after we get a decent correction, maybe a couple of weeks. Sui. Neon has been flying. I was looking at Neon all the way over here, and I didn't get myself on board. I really should have, but I didn't want to trade too much going into Christmas. I think I'm just going to keep it that way. There's endless opportunity in the market next year, so whatever trades are on, stay on. You just wait. Quick scroll through the markets to see what's going on. Flux Pocket, Harmony. There's another one I had looked at. This exact setup on Harmony was the same as several other coins that have had big moves. I was looking through. Very, very common setup, this. The kind of the higher high, higher low. There's another one I really probably should have traded, but again, just don't see any need to. Solana's flying. Estia, injective. Yeah, so like market at this point, so much of this stuff is way up and overextended, and I think pullbacks on a lot of these are much closer. Closer than any kind of continuation, right? Stuff can and will keep going up, sure, but I think a lot of these, you find some of them that are really moving, like near, for example. So it's just going vertical, and so I don't know. I don't think we revisit the lows. I don't think many of them even revisit these consolidations. I think that's it. But it obviously can't keep going up forever, and so the next pullback I think is going to be something like this, where it drops all the way back in quite a violent flush out, and then it just forms a base, and then that's it, away for its next run, right? I think that's what a lot of them are going to look like. And for the alts, it's going to be 30%, 40%, some of them 50%, but not coming down to where you would like them to if you're basically, if you missed, if you missed the bear market and you missed the lows, you're not going to get a chance to get on board at low prices again. And this is what I think people are forgetting. If there's a coin that comes all the way back to its bear market lows, it's not when you want to buy. It's not going to be a winner, is it? It's not going to be a leader. So something like this, Near has reclaimed this level, and you just look at this whole thing as like one giant under over. So I think Near will probably come back into this level at some point. That'll be a decent buying opportunity. But the other thing as well, you don't need to, like, you literally don't need to rush at all, because it's going to hit wherever it's going to hit. It's then going to come back for a retest. It might even go lower, and then it's going to consolidate, and then we're going to go, right? It's not going to happen before you know it, right? Like here was the bottom, right? There was the capitulation bottom, but then it came down again. Then it grinded down for weeks. And now look at Near, fucking flying. So it gives you plenty of time, right? You've got, I think it'll be probably a month or two that it will reaccumulate a lot of these ones. Like say it's sold off into end of January, end of February, end of March. I don't even think it would be until May. I don't think they'll be as long. I think the market is going to speed run stuff this year. Just in general. That's just a hunch. We'll see how it goes. We'll play it as it comes, but that's my current thoughts. And so overall, Christmas. Don't use leverage. Don't trade. Spend time with your family. And be ready for any dips, any leverage shakeouts, any sudden moves. They're generally an opportunity. All right? So, GM, GCM, good Christmas morning. And I will see you all later. I will definitely be streaming today, every single day, no days off. Not 100% sure what time. I'll figure out with like family and food and dinner and stuff like that. So probably later, not 5 p.m. UTC, probably later, probably 7, maybe 8. I'll let you know later. All right? GM.